Okay, so now we've been through a bit of the setup and the ball position. Now we're going to talk about impact, and we're going to talk about two different shots, three in fact. But two are very closely related and one is not. And the concept behind this, or the philosophy behind it, is the whole game of golf. It's a number of different games in one. A little tap-in putt over here, if I was to tap in a little tiny putt from this far, is a world away from the drive that struck on hundreds and hundreds of metres. It's a different swing, it's a different action, it's completely different. Then, when I was coaching my junior teams and state teams, I'd like to say to them that once they walk within that 100 metre range, you leave your full swing behind. Put it back in your golf bag, and now we come out with a whole different range of shots. And it's important because of where the ball strikes on the different clubs. These are my brand new Vokies. Thank you very much to Titleist for that. I haven't been hit yet, I still can't hit it, but anyway, post-COVID I'll be into it. And I want you to I'll show you exactly why you have to be in a different position as the lofts get higher and higher. And usually it's from about a pitching wedge down, so pitching wedge, gap wedge, sand, lob, is where this pitch technique comes in. And let me show you why it's really important. Okay, when you arrive at impact with a full swing, if you're in an ideal impact position, your hands are slightly forward, and Anthony, the gun cameraman will scan in, and you'll see that where the ball strikes, it's about a few grooves up on the face, pretty much in the middle, okay? So, if I do that now with a wedge, and this is my 60 degree, Anthony scans back in and sees where the impact is. It's now on the very bottom groove, number one groove down here, okay? If you're hitting any of your wedge shots with a full swing, it's not going to work. You're going to have good days, some good days, but you're not going to be consistent. And I'll show you why. If you've got your hands, the further forward you get your hands at impact with a wedge, you can see it just decreases the loft a little bit. And then what you'll find is when Anthony shows this on the screen, that the more I get my hands ahead, now it's 3 or 4 grooves up on the bottom of the sand iron. What this does, you've probably seen all the pros play it, and some of our pennant team. One of our best players in the club is our club champion, Harry Smiles. He hits his 60 degree that comes in like a bullet, and you see most of the pros are playing like that. It's coming in with absolute venom. It's not lollying up in the air and floating around, and all the wind and the elements can get to it, then it hits the green and floats around where it wants. There's an old saying, you hit your long irons in high and you hit your short irons in low, okay? So next time you get a chance, post-COVID, that you get to go and see some elite golf, or come down into the bay down here and we'll show you how to do it. It's a shot that comes in at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You think, geez, this better pull up, and then bang, stops right near the flag, okay? Or sometimes it can go beyond the flag and then it'll spin back to the flag. Anyone can do that shot. So I'm here to tell you, anyone can do that shot. It just requires a few different elements, okay? For TrackMan next door, there's a few measurable things that you can get to it. I'm not going to get to that today, but I'm going to give you the ABCs in setup, and you can do this in the backyard, you can do this in the lounge room. There's no excuses, but by the time you come back, you can pitch it with venom, okay? We'll cut to that, and we're going to go out on the field and show you how to do it. Okay, righto, so here we are back on the field, and you'll see that there is no more range balls. Every time you play a pitch shot, a chip shot, any short game shot, you never ever use a range ball. There's a good reason why we've limited over on the short game facility. You're only allowed to use 20 balls over there, and they've got to be your own. One, so they don't get left all over the practice field, but two, and more importantly, you never want to use a range ball. It's a completely different reaction. They're okay for full shots. Full shots out here in the range, no problems. I'll simulate a reasonable shot. When it comes to short game shots, it gives you a different flight, as in height, and a different spin rate. So a different spin rate gives you a different reaction when it hits on the green. So do not ever use range balls or rubbish, hard golf balls when you're practicing short game shots. So full swing, that's a different matter. So we chatted before about two different swings, okay? I'm going to show you the full swing and the pitch. So the full swing is what we talked about before, normal ball position, good posture, nice swing, back and forth, that's your full swing, okay? Once you're within 100 metres, for good reason, you can't use that anymore. Well, I do tell a small porcupine, you can use that shot. There's two ways to stop a ball on a green. One is through land angle, and the other one is through the spin, okay? And the spin is more consistent. It comes off the face quicker. More the measurability on TrackMan is smash factor. It comes off with a higher smash factor. Funny term, but that's what it does. You can use, so but the spin shot requires you to be far enough away from the flag and have enough room on the green, and usually that's about 35 metres back out to about 100, 110 metres. So if you're close to the green and you can't generate that spin, then there is a time for high, soft, floating shot. Very inconsistent, okay? Particularly if the ground's very, very hard and tightly nipped. So what I mean by tightly nipped is the amount of, not just PK members, but you know, the golfers the world over. In winter, when the ground gets a little bit neat, okay, the grass is still there, but it's almost just bare rolled grass. You know, you haven't got that thick sort of lush coating. That's when that ball, as we discussed before, that's when it's going to catch on that bottom groove. Okay, so when summertime comes around and you get that spongy sort of stuff, then it becomes a lot easier because the club can sort of get down underneath the ball, and then you play a nice sweet sort of a pitch shot. Okay, but good pitchers, as in pitch players, the tighter and the harder the ground, the better, because their hands and their shaft is coming through with enough shaft lean, bang, right? It's coming through and catching on those few grooves up. All right, that's what generates your spin. So in this shot, you've got to, if you've droned out, because I do go on a little bit, and you've sort of drifted off, this bit bloody concentrate, right? Because this is it. This is the whole secret to being a good pitcher. Okay, you have to have your hands ahead of the ball at impact. If your hands are ahead of the ball, I'm overdoing this a bit. Hands ahead of the ball, there it is, it strikes on those 3 or 4 grooves up. Okay, if I start with a neutral grip like I do with a full swing, and then my hands return way in front, I'm sure you can see what's happened to the club face here. Okay, it's open. And then an open club face, coming in there, coming in that way, that is a nightmare. The golf swing's hard enough, let alone 60 degrees of loft, aiming this way with the loft shooting that way. It's a nightmare. So this is what you've got to do. Starting with the club on the ground, if you turn it in, we'll exaggerate it for a little bit. Turn it into, you know, about not quite 45 degrees, but we'll call it, you know, 35, 40 degrees, okay? Then you can see where the Golf Pride sticker is here. We're going to grip it down the side of the club like that. All right, so when I lift it up, you can see how closed it is. Okay, now obviously we don't want to hit it closed like that because it's going to go left. So if I put my hands ahead now, you can see it's now square back with the target, and my hands are ahead, and it's going to give you that 3 or 4 grooves up hit. So make no mistake, we're not de-lofting. We are de-lofting the club by having your hands forward, but we're not de-lofting it by angle of attack. Angle of attack is a chop. We don't want a chop. We still want it to be nice and shallow with the ground. Okay, so if you're taking a divot with a good pitch shot, it's like a squashed divot. Okay, it's not. You're not taking a big dirty chunk out of the ground and the ground staff have to come and fill up bloody graves. It's a squashed type of divot. Okay, so if I go through that setup again, your ball position for this shot, because it's different to a normal shot, is about middle. Okay, start with that club head closed in a little bit. Grip it down that side of the club. Then put your hands forward to square that club up, okay? Then, as you go back, it's not a swing where the club opens up anymore, like a full swing where the club opens up this way, turns over from that side, it comes back closed, face down to the ground, okay? So because it does that, right, you can't go back that much further than that, all right? That's about your full range with this shot. But what you'll find is you'll hit this shot further than you can with a full swing because you're hitting it in those 3 or 4 grooves and it comes out lower. It comes out lower, but it's coming in with venom. It's coming in with spin. Skip, skip, bang, right near the flag. That's the shot you want to learn how to play. Particularly around here, you know, we don't just get some of the toughest shots in Frankston, we get some of the toughest shots in the world. Some of the hardest greens in the world, so you've got to be able to put some spin on the ball. If you don't go through these fundamentals, and some of the numbers that we can back it up with on TrackMan in there, you'll never be able to put the spin on the ball. So, once we've got that set up right, close it, grip it on the side, put your hands in front to square the club head, okay? Shut back down, the face comes back down, not a lot of wrist action, and then you're going to drive the ball low and hold it off. Ball's going to come in with venom, skip, skip, bang. I expect you all to be able to do it by the time we come back.